A dreamer at to spin fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow.
Good morning. And yeah, maybe Mega GMs. Yeah. It's definitely one of those today. Yeah, give me a quick heads up, guys. Audio okay? You can hear me? Got a little thing happening here. I think we're all right. Shona, good morning, dude. It is great having him back, right? He's got like his seasonal work or whatever, and we've got like our seasonal viewers. It's Choina season. I love it, dude. Cass, good morning, man. Great to see you, buddy. Hoods, good morning. Mufasa, good morning. Audio, good. All right, good shit. Hoods, we got you. Juvik, good to see you. Dude, what a cool morning. I mean, geez. It's been a cool couple days, like just so much going on in crypto and NFTs and yeah, in AI, I think it's starting to bubble up here. But man, we got to talk about this market here. A lot on the NFT side, to be totally honest. Like NFTs are kind of back. Like they're kind of back, man. We say that a few times, like kind of over the course of the past, year or two. They're kind of back now, though. Like we looked yesterday at NFT volume, and I mean, what was a 2025 high last week? Basically a 10-month high for sales volume, and you just feel that momentum starting to pick back up here. It's incredible stuff. But what really surprised me this morning was seeing some, I don't know if we're going to call them leaks or rumors or if it's official, but there's some stuff starting to sneak out about virtuals and what this next iteration of their launchpad is going to look like. And I like what I'm hearing a lot. I like it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's as big as a shift as you would probably hope for. Now, if it's real, the question is it going to work? Is it going to matter? Are people going to start trading there? And hey, look, if what we're seeing here with the new leverage trading is at least a sign, maybe, guys, it just might work. So excited to dive into that with you guys today. Again, as of this week, guys, we're back to covering the broader market, crypto, NFTs, all that stuff. Love it, dude. Love it. Missed it. Needed it. Good morning. Needed it, guys. Man, fucking missed it so much. But we're back. We're back hitting all of it. So, wherever you're watching right now, and we are on Abstract. Hang on, we're almost on Abstract. This stuff is these platforms are kind of tricky. All right, now we're live on Abstract. We're live on X. We're live on YouTube. Hit the like wherever you're watching, but come over to YouTube over here and make sure you subscribe to CryptoSlam. There's some stuff we're talking about today that all of a sudden I'm like, man, because we're branching out with the coverage. Some of these guys should be coming on the show, and we should be meeting some of these teams out there. Luna, happy lighter day to you, man. But there's a couple big things happening out there, and I want to start getting them on the show here. Anyway, to keep up with all this stuff, again, subscribe to CryptoSlam. You can follow me at Hudah_idiot. Follow SlamAI_XYZ. That's the most important thing here. And get ready as we gear up for the Slam token launch and the new platform. And man, it's going to get spicy real quick. And the timing couldn't be better with what this market's starting to do out there. And then, of course, follow the Swarm_AI. Let me drop our stream in the chat. Again, dude, the algo is so brutal right now, dude. The algo is so brutal. Like, if you're not being reply guy, and if you're not tweeting, nobody's going to see your stuff. Like I mentioned yesterday, we tweet out from the Swarm account, right? I'm sorry, the SlamAI account. I don't see the tweets. Like, they follow me, I follow them, Notifications on. I don't see the tweets. So it's just brutal right now with the algo. So, bro, incredible. So throw a little love on that tweet there. Hey, now Mufasa, that would be cool. And I was thinking of you this morning, seeing them high on the I was looking at top movers and they were there. So yeah, we should make that happen. All right, let's get to the market here. We got so much to talk about here, but the market looking phenomenal. And I hear some people saying, look, dead cat bounce or whatever. Like a lot of people think we've got a lot more, I don't know, blood out there to go find before we really start heading up into, banana zone. And that could be. Who knows? Nobody knows. But you guys know how bullish I am, right? You guys know. And I love when I find somebody who I respect, you know what I mean? Like a name out there who's got the following, who I respect. And there's plenty of people I do, but there's some guys that you put, on that pedestal, right? And there's one of those guys that put out a tweet there that mirrors like my sentiment, my gigabullish sentiment. It's ridiculous, right? I might be a little too bullish. You got to see me in a bear market, right? That's different. I'm not permeable, but dude, like I'm hyper bullish. Hey, well, and ultimately, who knows? But I'm just, you know what? I just say zoom out, and what's coming here is going to be special, and it's going to be unlike anything we've seen before. When I see somebody I respect saying the same thing, that's what I need. I just need to know there's other people out there that see what I'm seeing, and some of you guys I know you do. All right. So are we heading into that right now? Maybe. There's Bitcoin almost 119K, up over 2% in the past 24 hours. ETH 4,300. Ripple 298. BNB 100. Excuse me, not 100. I'm so used to BNB being in the hundreds. No, 1,038. Solana 225. Everything's up. Everything. It's all green in the past 24 hours. Same on memes. Memes looking fantastic. Market cap climbing. Now almost an $82 billion market cap. We got to get back to what? 125, 30, 40. And we'll be there. And man, do we realize that like, I don't know. Do we see the super cycle play out? Do we see memes, over 200 billion, like all-time high market cap for memes? I really think that's possible. I know so many people have sworn off memes and said they're dead, they're not coming back. And that doesn't mean they're not going to get some wins out there, but that the best is behind us. I don't think that's I don't think that's it. Alizar, good morning. Gravity, good morning. English doesn't watch the week. English only likes my weekend streams. He doesn't dig my weekdays, my weekday stuff. It's not even that different, but like maybe a little bit. Well, we'll see if we can get him back here. Anyway, memes looking great here too. Let me just peek at our top movers here. Look, Aura, a Pepe. Unstable coin is, man, one of my favorites. I regret being out of that. And Dog, look at Dog. Actually, not. Oh no, up 20%. Look at that. How great is that? What's up, Bang? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, dude. I gotta say, like, hey, back to format, content, whatever. Like, I've just missed talking about the bigger stuff. We gained people. Like, we brought new people into the stream. Okay, China, that's actually what I was going to say. Okay, so like we gained some people that kind of found us and the brand in the stream because we did virtuals, but I know for sure we lost people and some people that I know well, right? That I've known for years, and they, the virtuals thing isn't their thing. I know we lost people. And funny enough, I mean, this is a little side thing, little side point, but even in the numbers, this is nothing big. But when I cover virtuals, the views are not great, right? Especially when things are slow, we might get 100 views. It's not crazy. X is a different story. X way better. But right, 100, 150, maybe 200. But again, really low views when we do the AI stuff, just the virtuals focus stuff. And almost an immediate change when we started covering crypto, right? Like, look, I mean, almost actually behind the scenes, if I look at the numbers, it's over 200 yesterday. I don't think we've had over 200 it's been a minute. So again, it's the right decision to get, a little more zoomed out. It is. I'm happy about it. There you go. There's your top 5 meme gainers. Losers, don't care. Don't care. Over to ETFs, on the Bitcoin ETFs to start. Monster day yesterday. 675 mil in inflows. Love to see it. Love to see it, man. Wow. Just a monster day. Let's get the ETH ones pulled up here. Expecting similar. Nice up day yesterday. Not quite as big. No, 80 mil in inflows yesterday. And then over on Solana. And by the way, all these other ETF approvals, they're all on pause with the government shutdown right now. Right? So we're not going to see this big old flood of ETFs coming to market like we thought. So, excuse me, on Solana, 13 mil in inflows yesterday. All in all, really, really good day for ETFs yesterday. Expected to continue. I certainly hope. Check it out. Cities come out with their Bitcoin and ETH predictions here for the next 12 months. Love it. They're also bullish. They're also bullish. Even in the bear case, 82K Bitcoin, 2K ETH. I mean, hope we don't see it, but some perspective helps zoom out and, remember where we were not too long ago. And if that's the bottom, if that's the bear case, not bad. Base case, 181K Bitcoin, $5,400 ETH, but the bull case, 231K BTC, $7,300 ETH. That's it. That's it. Cats, that's it as well. That's it. I mean, it's all in on prediction markets for a couple of reasons too. And by the way, I'll just put this up here. For a couple of reasons. Look, play the markets, right? Play the markets. Of course, they're fucking great. They're fun. They're so fun to play, and there's different ways to win over there, right? But man, the opportunity is there, but it's also I believe, who doesn't? But the bigger opportunity is betting on prediction market platform tokens. Why wouldn't it be? A token that on a market, I don't know. We've played some markets and you might make a few bucks and maybe you can make a couple hundred, but you start betting on a platform token is where you see that ridiculous upside. And you saw what Preddy's been doing this week. That's the real opportunity, is betting on these. Look at Limitless in the 100 mil or whatever they've raised over on Cato. What do you think would happen if what would it look like if you bet on Polymarket right early on and Cato, excuse me, not Cato, but Kalshi? That's the opportunity. There's going to be an infinite number of these platforms. By the way, and I'll save most of this talk for tomorrow, but it sounds like the Myriad token that's coming out. Well, if you hold the Rug token, right? Remember the old Rug radio token? You might be getting basically a 1-to-1 drop of the Myriad token. So prediction market tokens it's the play, it's the alpha, it's the best upside. And shout out to Predict Base, and that Preddy token is going to be on fire, and already is, guys. Past 6.5 mil market cap yesterday, pulled back a bit, but man, that's the bet, that's the play. That to me, you go bet these markets, but the big play is the platform tokens. All right, so dude with the sentiment that shares sentiment with me, he does. It's OSF. There's very few people I respect more than this guy. Builder, visionary. And he knows the markets, man. And does he? This guy really knows the markets. Saying people aren't bullish enough on risk assets over the next few years. People on crypto Twitter, we see him, and it's all we see on crypto Twitter, saying this is the end of the cycle. I'm making my plans to get out in October or November, right? And maybe we peak early next year, but it's the end, right? Bear market's incoming. Get ready for it. And OSF is saying it here. There's so much recency bias. Thinking back to COVID and the crash then and inflation drawdown in 2022. But he's comparing this to these longer stretches, these 10-year stretches, which, what is he saying? From 2009 to 2020, the SPX saw 4x, the NASDAQ saw a 10x, right? Zoom out a little bit and realize that maybe those other periods were just these pullbacks. That's what I'm betting on, and that's what I feel. I have a hard time seeing that we're heading into a lengthy bear market, even after 6 months, 12 months from now. I don't see it. I don't see it with the shift that's happening with this. There is a technology revolution happening here between AI and crypto. I see this massive explosion that's about to come, and it's gamifying everything, and prediction markets are such a big part of it. To me, unavoidable, and I can't get myself in that bearish headspace where we've got a little bit of this run left and then it's game over for some years. I don't see it. It's not how I'm playing this market. I'm playing the speculative side because of this, the massive AI robotics crypto boom that he thinks will last for many years. And by many years, I think 5 to 10 years. My plan is for 5 years out, by 2030, the $1 million Bitcoin prediction. That's my thought. And I think it's going to happen when OSF is talking like that. It at least makes me think more that I'm on the right track. Love to see it. And we'll see more stuff like this. Look, Swift coming out with this blockchain, partner with Consensus. Love to see it. But Swift was talking blockchain, like he's saying. This is Eric Wall, by the way, back in 2016. And here we are, what, 8 years later? 9 years later? And finally, they're coming out with products. Finally. And the thing is, guys, how many of these massive entities are actually building behind the scenes and have been building by the scenes, and they're waiting for some of that regulatory clarity to actually launch some products. And so you see stuff like this and you realize, man, there's so many more dominoes to fall. And when they fall, man, they're going to be very splashy. They're going to make some big old waves here. And we'll see experimental stuff too. A new like UBI crypto co-pilot in New York. Love to see it. We're going to see a lot of that. UBI is going to be a conversation. Although more and more I've moved away from the idea that AI is going to replace jobs, guys. It will. It will. Make no mistake, it will. But I'm more leaning to it's just going to make everybody better at their jobs. And so as a society, we're going to be more productive, which means I subscribe to the universal higher income now. I do. That's where I lean now. Anyway, exciting stuff. Let's get to the AI market. We got a lot to talk about in virtuals here. Exciting stuff. If this Launchpad news is legit, then then I'm excited. Then I'm excited here. Hang on, let me peek at some comments real quick. Oh, you guys are deep in a conversation. I'll catch up on that later. Anyway, total market cap, 17 bill. Again, I don't buy it. I don't think it's accurate. I don't know what's up with Cookie. Maybe I'm wrong. It's Choina, I think the best way to think about it, it's the jobs that can be scripted get scripted away. And there's a lot of them, make no mistake. And the things that can get automated with robots will get automated. It's physical AI, robotics. So there are going to be jobs that are replaced, but there's going to be so many that are created because the productivity is going to mean you need more people for other things, right? But jobs that can be scripted, and again, I always compare it back to thinking when I was in the corporate world, worked in IT, but I saw how payroll worked and the Treasury Department worked, and right, and I saw how much of their work was just people spreadsheeting and moving numbers and crunching numbers, and I'm like, you could definitely script all that away, and those jobs are going bye-bye for sure. For sure. And we're talking millions of jobs, but I do think there's going to be millions of new jobs from new businesses that are started. It's a whole other conversation. But I think, why is Naval here? That's, whatever. Anyway, over to agents. We're subtracting from total market cap, by the way, the USDT token here. It's still, I can't wrap my head around why that's there. So let me, actually, guys, hang on. Actually, we might be over 10 mil. Yeah, I think we are actually over 10 mil, right? If I subtract USDT, it's Tether on Arbitrum. Don't know why it's there. But yeah, we're basically at a 10 bill market cap. So love it. Fartcoin's your true number one agent by market cap up. We're watching it. Leading indicator. Love to see it. We're almost back to 700 mil. They're followed by Toshi, AIC, Tibber. Happy all-time high yesterday. Hit 300 mil. And we'll put IRC up there as well. On the infrastructure side, FET, Virtual, DCAI, IOTX, and Alt. Look at Virtual up almost, getting close to 12% in the past few days here. 740 mil market cap. And then on DeFi, it's Venice, Banker, AI Tech, Olas, and Griffin. Everything, I mean, a lot of green here. It's great to see. And a quick peek at Mindshare. Elsa AI, still no TGE yet, but big Mindshare campaigns. Then Banker, Fartcoin, Cookie, and CXT. Looking solid over here. All right, so we got all this new leverage trading over on Virtuals. Is it moving the needle for some of these tokens? Maybe. And there's that CPHY token. Should I call it Syfy? Yeah, I think that's probably right. Syfy. Almost a 2x, almost a 3x here, right? 1.1 mil FDV, PRSNA, Mute, Eval, and Dora. It's your top gainers in the past 24 hours. Looking spicy over there. Mute, yeah, Mufasa, I'm a big fan of Mute. In fact, I need to touch base with them again, but we had plans for them to come on the show, which would be great. Again, the AI guests are still going to be coming on. Your top losers, Ethi, Guard, interesting, CPA, Monk, and Robot. Keep Robot in mind because I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that, especially on Virtuals. All right, points are in for today. Points don't matter anymore. I mean, they do matter right now. They're not going to matter soon. It is what it is. But points coming back up. We're picking up volume over here, means more points are getting distributed. 161 mil yesterday. All right. On the Genesis Launchpad, nothing right now. Nothing live. Nothing to spend your points on. You're probably sitting here with points expiring. Not fun. And the next big launch to come that you can dump points in, man, it's what, a week away? Hive Fury. A week away. There's nothing else coming that I see worth putting any points into. This one for sure, though. Hive Fury, I think is pretty legit. So a week off. I hope you're not wrecked points wise. I hope you got them into, I don't know, Wave. Hope you got them into Tycoon earlier, right? I hope you're set up to weather this week. And then Mindshare coming up as well. I think they're decent. Might complete. Need to dive more into that with them. Want to get them on the show. But other than that, nothing on the board. Just nothing. It's going to be a really quiet week or so here. That said, it gives us time to speculate on the new Genesis. I don't think we're going to call it Genesis anymore, by the way, but new Launchpad. Let's look at Wave here. Down to a 692K FDV. Let me peek over here. I want to look at the ROI on this. All right. Yeah, you're down from that. You're basically even right now, right? It went tier 2, but you are down on that buy-in. Same with Tycoon. No, I'm sorry. Tycoon, you're actually looking pretty good. What was Tycoon at right now? Market 2.86 mil. Dude, GG to Tycoon. Really like that one. You're up almost 2x on Tycoon. And that one makes a lot of sense. Here. Wave at tier 1 would have been sweet. Tier 2 is a little tricky. Ground Zero's got a little problem here. Love those guys, by the way. They're freaking awesome. I love the Ground Zero guys. I think their whole business model is maybe in trouble with what I think is coming with Genesis. We'll get into that again. Some leaks, some rumors, I think it's real, by the way, but it's instant competition for something like Ground Zero and these other pre-sale, platforms. So we'll see. All in all, yeah, just very quiet on virtuals. Now, virtuals themselves, not so quiet, actually ramping up the talk. I love it. I love it. Watching to see if they have another stream this week, right? Another Spaces. Do you guys know, have you seen a stream, a virtual Spaces coming this week? But they're getting, active on X. I love to see it. They're talking about Butler Agent, which is going to be, a core part of their business going forward. We know that already, right? But, X is the funnel to bring people back to their platform. And so they're really promoting Butler Agent as your crypto co-pilot, your trading partner, right? You enter positions and sell right through Butler, which is pretty damn cool. I like it. I'm not convinced it works, but I like it. But that said, yeah, Katz is right. Token 2049, the virtuals guys are out there. Most of these big, AI projects are out there too, and there's a lot of alpha flowing. It's good to hear, man. It's great stuff. Graham summed up what it looks like this new part of this is what the new version of Genesis looks like, or virtuals, and there's more details from here. But Launchpad coming in a week and a half, guys. Whatever this new version is in a week and a half. October 10th is the date that some are putting out there. I think Will mentioned that. Not far off. Maybe 8 days away. Might be a little beyond that, but a week and a half. Let's use that right now, ballpark. A week and a half away. Fundraising mechanics built in. Again, now competing with like Bionic DAO, Agent Zero, right? They got competition. I don't worry for them is not the right word, but right, they spent all this time building up a platform that now is competition right on virtuals. I've heard a little, again, not the right word, but FUD in virtuals where people put out these, pretty awesome ideas and then the virtuals team kind of takes them. And that's fine. It's just how stuff works. Like nobody owns ideas really, but it does seem to happen. Really going to be tracking revenue, right? In agentic GDP. I like that, right? Put a focus on building and bringing value. I like it. But robotics, man. I think you're going to see a big old push into robotics from virtuals. And writing's been on the wall for a while. We saw some pretty interesting robotics projects launch on virtuals. We've seen Vader pivot to robotics. I don't love it, by the way. I'll just be honest. I like the robotics thing. Like, it's neat, it's interesting. It could make sense, but I'm not convinced that that's going to be like a massive sector in crypto. It could be. I hope it is, but I'm not convinced of it. I don't feel it. It doesn't give me the spidey tingles, the spidey sense tingle. I don't get that at all with it. I just look at it, I'm like, okay, I could see it. It probably makes sense. There's some tokens out there that are really, really hot still. But as far as that being a big, like, FOMO-inducing meta that the entire space is going crazy over, I kind of have trouble seeing it. I still think the ICM meta or internet capital markets, I just think businesses raising funds, like, broader, makes a lot of sense. Robotics specifically, like, it'll work, but a thing that everybody's talking about, I don't get it. Yeah, cats, that's it. Normies won't be into it, but in a way, fuck the normies too. It's more like, can it bring big investments from maybe more like traditional investors? Like, it definitely could. But I'm just going more like vibes, feels, attention, hype. I'm not sure if I feel it. Not saying it's not going to happen. I hope it does, but I'm not feeling it. So to me, what it feels like, just this is more like my gut, it feels like kicking the can down the road a little. Like, you put out the most kind of future carrot on the end of the stick kind of thing that people are still trying to figure out and wrap their head around. And because of that, you can speculate on it. And to me, that's what robotics is. It's just an easier way to say, okay, the next hypey thing is going to be this, catch the first wave, and really maybe the second wave. I don't know. I'm not feeling it a ton. Said it probably works to a degree. All right. So Kaylin's out there at token 2049 and is really spilling the alpha here, right? There's some really interesting stuff here that she gathered from the Virtuals team. Again, the AGDP. Again, just let's get this money. Let's get these teams making money here on the Virtuals platform, right? They added the long and shorts, the leverage positions. Love that. 3% of token supply is going to be airdropped to users of actively trading agents. I'm trying to wrap my head around what that means, right? Part of the new Launchpad mechanics. Is that just like kind of like the daily active bonus? If you're trading, like actively trading, you get some token rewards. Is that for the Virtuals token itself? Doesn't sound like it, right? But I'm trying to wrap my head around what that could actually look like. I'm not sure. But the biggest change here, guys, and I'm going to break it down a little more for you because Will put out, again, another good thread showing another project that has a very different launch mechanism. And he's at least speculating this is what Virtuals is going to borrow. But essentially, you're going to have tokens that launch that teams don't earn anything from unless they hit certain market cap milestones, right? So you hit what, 10 mil market cap, you unlock, I don't know, a couple $100,000, which I like, by the way. I like it. This is going to weed out teams who are just coming to market with a token, saying they're going to build this and this and this, but they don't actually do it. And we see a ton of that. This is basically, man, you launch, you're not getting any of that money until you hit these milestones. So, man, if you're launching, you better be actually working for it. You better actually put out the product. So I like that a lot. But, dude, this is the project Will showed us that Virtuals Protocol invested in. And it's pretty interesting. If they copy this, it's interesting. This ends up not being what I thought, which is copying Aerodrome. It's completely different. But here's Flying Tulip. Interesting launch here. So let's break down what they did, right? Okay, investors. So us, we're going to go bet on their pre-sale. Maybe it's with Virtual. Maybe it's with stablecoins, ETH, whatever it is, right? Let's just assume it's like it is now. It's with Virtual. Actually, they should do stablecoins, I think. But you buy in. That money goes right into a treasury, right? No team allocation. Every token issued to us, right, that we bought with our stablecoins, backed by that collateral, and this is where it's going to start getting interesting. First, when you make that purchase, you get a put option. You get the option to sell those tokens at a certain date, assuming by a certain date at a specific price. Meaning you can kind of get a refund, kind of depends what that price is. But you're going to get the option to basically sell them back. And you might do that if you don't think they're going to hit those milestones. The token price is going to go down. Well, you just get out. You get out with some kind of refund here. Pretty cool. And anytime you return your tokens, get your original capital back. Oh, no expiry, no games. Interesting if they do no date. Just at any point you return it, you get your money back. If you exercise the put, your token's burned. Supply shrinks. Love that, by the way. Freaking love that. Right? Something I've been really consistent on for years. With NFTs and then with crypto, supply's way too big, man. 10K edition collections in NFTs are way too big. Way too big. And then when we get to fungible tokens, same thing. Billion token supplies are way too big. It just leaves way too much room for fuckery and for whales and gamers to go scoop up supply and make a gamble on your thing going up, and they can crush you. Every time you get a pump, they can crush you. And I felt that again with the CCM stuff, right? Launching my own coin. I'm like, man, I think organically we can grow this, but if you got guys who came in and scooped up all that supply, you're kind of in a tough spot. Smaller supplies, love this. You exercise that option, tokens burned. I dig it. Now, if you sell your tokens on the open market, your put protection's gone. Original capital goes right into buying and burning more tokens. So burns and burns and burns, meaning supply just keeps coming down. I think we've been missing something like that for a long time. And I would love it if that's something Virtuals adopted. Pretty cool. And the cat, like he's saying, like, where's the catch? It's not even really a catch. I mean, but, you know, I guess if you're getting good mechanics out of it, is there a downside? The only downside, it just makes sense. Well, it's just your crypto sitting somewhere where you don't get to earn yield on it. They're going to earn yield on your funds, right? So if you're spending stable coins to buy it, get into a pre-sale, they're going to go earn yield on it. Awesome. So your bet is, can you make money on that yield, or are you going to make more money betting on a certain team? I love it. Got to say, I love it. Virtuals spent millions investing in projects outside of Virtuals than on Virtuals ecosystem projects. That's, yeah, fair. They've made so much money, dude. They've made so much money. I'd love to see how much, but no, that's a good point. I'd love to see them supporting more of their homegrown projects still. And by the way, they're meeting with all the teams, right? Like, we've heard back from them. They're like, hey, we want to meet. We want to get some updates from you guys. We want to hear what you've built, what you're building, what's coming, right? Like, Virtuals is re-engaging, and they needed to, because I'll tell you, man, everyone's been talking, like, right, the community talks about Virtuals not engaging much. Behind the scenes, it's the team saying the same thing. We're not hearing from them. There's, like, very little. So I think that's changing. It is changing. I was going to say, it looks like it is changing. They're starting to reach out. But I dig it. But anyway, the teams do not get money up front. They don't set a lock period, right? They don't get tokens at a specific date. They get it when they hit a certain market cap milestone. I like it. Is this enough to move the needle for you guys? If this is what the new, Launchpad looks like, does that change anything for you? I should probably put up a poll. And by the way, I was thinking about this random point, but, thinking about prediction markets, I'm like, well, dude, I've been saying for a while that prediction markets and content belong together. Streams, right? Video, shows like this. They just make sense, gamify the experience. I'm like, well, holy shit. I'm looking at a stream yesterday, and all throughout the stream, people put up polls. It's already there. It's just not monetized. Why not monetize it? Why not have people like winning along the way too, right? Why not? So it makes sense. But okay, about Virtuals and will the new mechanics work, and does it move the needle, and right? I don't know if it does, to be honest. Short term, maybe. It's a whole maybe with all this stuff. Hang on, let me get a pull up here real quick. Let's see. Will the new Virtuals... All right. Will the new Virtuals Launchpad mechanics bring Virtuals back? Whatever that even means. It's just a sentiment thing, maybe. Will it bring Virtuals back? And I'll tell you what, I maybe would vote no on that. I'd maybe vote no on that. Reason being, okay, I like them. If those mechanics are the way they go, I like it. But all that really matters is, can you bring the great projects and teams to your Launchpad? That's all that matters, right? Because if the mechanics work, as soon as people see that it works, what happens? You don't own the mechanics, right? It's not yours and yours exclusively. No, if it works, everyone's going to copy it. And so then it's going to come back to, man, it kind of sucks. It comes back to, can you build the hype? That's what you're there for then. Can you build the hype? Can you foster that community? Right? Are you like a net positive for the team that's launching? And I'll say this, man, I think so far Virtuals has proven that they're not. Right? The fact that they kind of disappeared, that they weren't really supporting teams, that they weren't supporting the community. I haven't seen anything over the past, year that showed me that they can do that other than in little like bursts. All I've seen is kind of the opposite. So if the mechanics of the Launchpad, anybody can copy, and there's teams out there who can bring hype and can do that support, that next level kind of support, and Virtuals has shown that they really can't or won't, I'm not sure which it is, right? Then I have a hard time thinking that this changes a whole hell of a lot. Other than short term, I think it can. You get a hyped launch, great. You bring another like Iris type thing and you build the hype, great. I am sure we'll see some hot launches here. So yeah, I'm not so sure. Let me see if we got any votes here. I'm very curious what people think. All right, we're 50-50. Just a couple votes in. We'll leave that up for a while. But yeah, I'm voting for no. I don't think it's going to move the needle a whole hell of a lot. Again, you'll see some wins. You'll get some hot launches, but I don't think it's going to change much for Virtuals because Virtuals themselves, they have to change. It's not the mechanics per se. It is, but it's the way Virtuals engages the community and the teams. That to me is the bigger problem. So again, I can't wait for the change. It's the last shot, maybe. I don't know if it is. They made money, right? They can keep pivoting and trying to find that product market fit, but I'm not convinced it's changed mechanics. They're back. I don't think I see it. Masha, we know the reason they started talking about it because more and more people left the ecosystem. Yeah, they lost people. And I can tell you this for sure is a lot of people that left aren't coming back. Like some people, they burned some bridges. That's on the community side. And I can tell you for sure on the team side too. That's a bummer, right? If other teams reach out to teams that have already launched, they said, well, how was the experience? Would you do it again? They're going to hear no from a lot of people. I know this for sure. This has happened. They've really got to not just like do what they should have been doing all along. They got to almost like overcompensate. They have to push even harder in the community direction and, the team support direction. They have to. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to work other than just for that short time, that short term. So we'll see. Okay. I'm a little negative there. I got to say, I'm rooting for them. I'm supporting them. I hope it works. I like the team, like personally like them all. I think they're great. I just don't think they have enough people. And I think they just got a little miscalibrated along the way too. I think they're great. So we'll see. And I'll be there to support them throughout and we'll cover it all. Again, we'll get the teams on and I'm rooting for them and I'm going to bet on the platform too. But I'm not sure it's going to work. So we'll see. Anyway, like 10 days off, week and a half off. We hopefully are going to see this new platform. Can't wait. I hope there's money to be made. Oh, there was something else here too. Hang on. Where was it? Oh, well, you know what? If anything, it's just a reminder, points aren't going to matter, right? Just remember this, points won't matter. I started unstaking some agents, but I do think, by the way, I really do think they're just going to have a mass unstaking period. We're right, where you're not going to have to wait the 2 weeks. I think you're literally going to get to either click a button and unstake, right away, or they're just going to unstake everybody. Because if there's no points to earn, why would they make you wait 2 weeks for anything? I just think there's going to be a day, kind of like they've done point resets, things like that. There's just going to be a day where they're like, hey, all your tokens are unlocked. So I unstaked some of my agent tokens, not all of them. I might just let the rest sit and see if that's how it plays out. But either way, just get prepared for that. Points won't matter. There's not going to be any jail, by the way. So you're definitely incentivized here to trade, which is great. Think of that too. But last point on Virtuals, they killed the secondary markets kind of by, penalizing you if you sell. And these teams need the people trading to earn fees. If people aren't trading, you're not making fees as a team on the trades. So they kind of hurt. And I get why, right? It was support teams, support builders, hold tokens. But man, in the short term, trading tokens helps builders. So anyway, we'll see with these changes coming up and what really is implemented, what it really looks like. Cautiously optimistic, but again, long term, I'm not sure it matters unless Virtuals really changes themselves. So we'll see. On the poll, no is in the lead. 60% of you guys think that it's not going to matter. I probably lean about that way, by the way. 60%. I think it maybe 70%. You know what I mean? If I'm just picking my odds, I'm probably right around there. There's a decent enough chance it works. All right, guys, on to NFTs, which have been like just so freaking fun. Like so fun. It is like NFTs are back. And by the way, there's some really spicy opportunities out there. We'll get into some of those here. Really spicy opportunities. What the hell is that? That doesn't feel wash trade there or some kind of transfer, a bundle that got categorized. We're 50 cents. All right. I'm still watching that poll. It's interesting. Anyway, your top collections in the past 24 hours. Moonbird's on top. DX Terminal, people still farming that based collection, which is awesome, right? People are going to farm cheap NFTs that have volume, right? People hoping to get maybe a base drop. So I dig that. Node Monk's on fire right now. I can't wait. Can't wait to dive into that, and we'll do that in a minute here. Punk's cooking, Milady cooking, Lil Pudgy's cooking. A lot of good stuff, by the way. There we go. Critters Quest Blind Box. We will talk about that too. And by the way, when I talk about trying to get guests on this show, that's exactly who I have in mind. As somebody who's like different flavor for the show, back to our roots, right? Back to NFTs, crypto, whatever. I want to get those guys on the show. Man, I want a Milady bad. Oh, man. Yeah, Cats, those strategy tokens are legit. Dude, legit. Now, Hyperliquid tracking we just added to the site, I think yesterday or day before. Down right now for some just, I don't know, tweaks. Couple little adjustments, but should be back, I would assume, at some point today. But we saw the volume there yesterday. What was it, like 88 mil in the past 7 days? Crazy stuff. Dude, this guy bought 30 hypers. 30 hypers. Guys, they have a $70,000 floor. Like ridiculous numbers. Now, like when he bought, it was a little lower. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this tweet was probably before he was done sweeping. So Cyrus is pointing out somebody bought 25 hypers, 1.7 mil, split them across 25 different wallets. Dude, these guys are about to eat. Right? The thought is, like he's saying here, a lot of people think those NFTs are going to lead to airdrops, right? From other protocols, platforms building on Hyperliquid, Hyper EVM. That those NFT holders, that it's an airdrop magnet. And I bet it is. I bet they're right. And I think that's probably a wicked smart play. But dude, those NFTs are cooking. And if that works, and it looks like it's going to work, expect to see that copied across all these platforms. Mega ETH is doing the same thing, right? What were those bunnies called? Whatever they are, right? Mega ETH is doing it. I mean, geez, like Barachain kind of did that with some of those NFTs. It makes a lot of sense. These chains and protocols that drop wallets, NFTs that equal more, I don't know, again, an airdrop magnet. I look at the runestones over on Bitcoin as something very similar, right? If that ecosystem were really cooking, it would be that, right? Target, in that case, like a big user base. In this case here, a quality user base, right? They rewarded their top platform users. So keep your eye on that collection. We're all priced out. It's a bummer, but we are. But keep an eye on that because it shows there is demand for NFTs there as long as that NFT leads to, you can speculate on it. If it's there, man. Oh, please, Lord, let it happen. We need it, brother. Anyway, those boys cooking. Critters Quest. Dude, I've wanted a Critters Quest NFT forever. And only because of Beanie, really. Like, the game looks cool. I'm not a big fan of the art, but that's kind of secondary to me. I've wanted a Critters Quest NFT for a long time. Long time. I just think it makes sense to have like I don't know. Cats art season maybe soon. Maybe Marfa really gets it in gear. Actually, we got a cool art story in just a minute here too. Art season, I think, is really loading. In fact, I would love to see a scent strategy. How about that? Anyway, Critters Quest, what, $1,000 floor. I think like a $900 floor. Wanted one so bad, but I saw these blind boxes they had launching on OpenSea yesterday. It's an ETH collection, which is cool. Love to see them branching out to ETH. Again, I'll support Beanie stuff because I think Beanie's great. I think Beanie's going to lead you to money. I do. Like, I like Beanie. It's an open edition mint. That, man, didn't do well. Guys, it did not do well. They ended up slashing that supply. It really didn't do well. They were in the hundreds of mints and finally had to make a decision here. What you're looking at, though, okay? It's an NFT mint that gets you a physical box of collectibles. Love it. I think they're plushies, by the way. It's a box of 12. There's rarity throughout the collection, which I think is awesome. Get the fuck out of here, Lemon. It's good to see you, man. By the way, Lemon, I can tell you, right? Okay, maybe you might not like this enough, but afternoon show kind of coming back in a form, although I think Joe doesn't want to be a part of it. I don't know. But me and Henry are going to be doing a show, a weekly show now. So stay tuned for that. I think it kicks off next week, actually. Joe's invited. Joe's welcome whenever. But yeah, we're kind of back. Anyway, physical collectibles. I think they're plushies. They got some legendary 1/1s in there, which is wicked fun, man. I love that. Each box has a gacha wheel spin, which is cool for an in-game item. Joe's around. Joe hopped in even in the Kong's, what was it? It was a VC a couple days ago. He's around. Yeah, well, actually, Lemon, time I don't know if we picked the time. I think it's going to be more like noon or 1 Eastern time. And I think it's going to be Thursdays. As of right now, it's me and Henry. So we'll see. We might just do, Luna, to that point, we might just do maybe a rotating co-host. And we'll do interviews, but it'll be very much like the flavor of the old show. So it's gonna be wicked fun. It's going to be hosted on the CyberKong's account, right? It is a CyberKong's community show. I don't mean to shill it over there because it's not related to this, but, right, it'll be there. I will get to talk about our stuff here, which I can't wait. I get to talk about Swarm, and I'll get to talk about Slam, and I'll get to talk about virtual stuff. Dude, Peter, yes, definitely want Peter to swing through and hop on a show. It's gonna be a lot. I can't wait. Again, once a week, an hour show. Kong's focus is in Kong's update, Kong's branded, but then we cover everything in the market like we always do. So it'll be sweet. And I do want to bring some virtuals guests on the show, right? The best part of virtuals, I want everybody outside to see it still, because I do think there's some good quality stuff here. Anyway, back to Critters Quest. Physicals, digital collectibles. Again, open edition didn't work. Yeah, perp episode would be great, by the way. Yeah, Luna, I'll hit you up when we do that. I would assume we would do that. And so, guys, they ended up cutting supply to 2K. 2,000 blind boxes. Again, it's their first mint on ETH. Only 2,000 of these boxes. It is physical. It does have the NFT digital counterpart. It is a gaming asset, too. I love it. I bought a box. What are they, like $250 or something like that? I think like $250. I bought one. I think I see some pretty spicy upside here. Yeah, so I bought a box. I'm in. I actually think it's a big, I think it's a smart bet, to be honest. Like, just getting into this speculative shit, I think it's a pretty safe bet. They're going to sell out. I think last I saw, they're almost at 1,400 boxes sold. They'll sell out, right? They will. They will get it to that point where it sells out. And I think Beanie, look, everything for me is when we're peak euphoria. They're going to get it to that point. I think they're going to do great. I think, I don't know, 2x that buy, maybe 3, maybe 4. Maybe I use it. Like I said, I want a Critters Quest NFT. I want to play the game. So thinking a lot about that ecosystem. And again, I want to get the Critters Quest team on this show here. Talk about the game. Talk about that ecosystem. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Lemon. It's one of those things that I think all these little metas have their time in the spotlight when they giga pump, and I think that's going to happen. And I think Critters Quest, look, you partner with OpenSea, you got Solana that'll back you. I think they're going to get really pushed out there, and I think they'll do well. So again, $250 for a 2K edition blind box. I'm going to roll the dice on something like that. And again, I think it looks good. Art, again, I'm not a big fan of, but game itself and who's involved, big fan of. So NFA and all, but there's something there. We're up to 67% no, by the way. Doodles yesterday. This was so confusing to me, man. Oh, man. Okay. Doodles have their partnership or their collab with Fruit Loops. Saw earlier in the week, right? They're like, details below. Here's how you'll get, the Doodles Fruit Loops collab. And I click on the tweet. It's not this one, by the way, but I clicked on the tweet they put out. And there's no details about it. And I don't think I just missed it because I went back to that tweet a few times. I didn't see anything. There were no details about how you got it. That said, it wasn't hard, right? And it went live yesterday. 500 boxes available. I actually thought it was limited edition, but in stores, right? So dude, Lemon, yes. All right. So first off, I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, if you go to the store today, can you look out for the Fruit Loops, Doodles box? And then I see it live, and then I realize, oh, well, shit. It's not in the stores. It's like on their own website. There's only 500 boxes. There's no fucking cereal in the box. Like, okay, I get it. There's collectors out there. They just want the box. Okay, I get it. And by the way, it worked fine. It sold out, and it sold out really quick. But 500 boxes, no cereal. What is it, like 10 of them or 10% of them? Yeah, 10%. So 50 of them are signed by Burnt Toast. It's, neat. It's neat. And then there's artwork in them. And one of them's got like a 1-1, sketch, which again, neat. Does it move the needle for anybody anywhere? No, but cool collectible if you're in that ecosystem or you're like a diehard Fruit Loops guy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I tried to buy when they were sold out. $50. So $50, sweet spot where if you're an NFT guy and you want to support a team, and I do, I want to support a team that I'm not buying the NFT because it's expensive, right? But I would love to support them this way. $50 for a box set. I don't know what I would do with it. It's probably going to go sit in a drawer. But it's out. It's out. It's sold out. Their community liked it enough. I did see some of their community saying, how does this help us anywhere? It doesn't have to, by the way. But I do think at the very least, man, that if you have a big collab, it should be at least a big hypey thing pushed on X. And I don't think this was even, other than Doodles pushing it. Yeah, it should. I wish it were in the stores. That would have been a different story. Like an IRL, Fruit Loops Doodle box, like the McDonald's Doodles thing. That to me moves the needle. It's not like somebody's buying your bags, but at least people are seeing the brand. Nobody's seeing this. So still, I like it. I still like it. And I tried to buy it. So whatever, it's still a win. It just was a confusing win to me. That's all. Anyway, it's there. It's out there. It happened. Oh my God, we're an hour in. I got to keep moving. I'm sorry, guys. These shows go way longer because there's so much more to talk about, right? All right, some big art news. Here you go, cats. Art Meta. We have a Beeple going up to auction here in 7 days. Love this dude. Fair warning. Oh, fair warning is auctioning real. The piece is called Real Art. Okay. Dude, this is being auctioned or at least curated by a dude who's curated a $450 million Salvador Mundi sale. Dude, we had a Salvador Mundi museum down in St. Pete when I lived down there, and that place was incredible. Went there a few times. Incredible. $450 million Mundi sale. Sale. Dude, I mean, again, this is a monster art auction house platform, whatever. And now Beeple's there. It's the first digital artwork since an autoglyph sold there last year, 415 grand. This one is going to fetch a little something. You know what's interesting, man? Okay, my wife hears about NFTs and crypto from me all the time, right? But she now knows Beeple like she knows him. She referenced Beeple last week for the most random ass obscure reason, but like that's why Beeple's different. She doesn't know X copy. She would never mention the name X copy. She would never mention any of this stuff. Maybe, Pudgy Penguins would be maybe the only other thing. Maybe CryptoPunks, maybe Bored Apes. But there's not a single other crypto artist in the world that she would know their name, let alone know how significant they are, right? But Beeple, she knows. That's the power of this guy. That's why he's a legend. He's so much bigger than crypto. So that's going to be an interesting sale to watch. Maybe it kicks off the really spicy part of the art meta. I hope so, man. I hope so. And no matter what, it's coming. It is coming. Also coming, man. More all-time highs for the strategy tokens. This is the coolest meta right now. I think anywhere in crypto. Coolest meta. Okay, maybe it's the perp dexes. I just love NFTs. So for me, it's the strategy tokens. And by the way, Punk Strategy hit another all-time high, 140 mil yesterday. Might have been this morning, but 140 mil market cap. And again, I'm kicking myself for, I don't know, maybe thinking it's too complicated. And so I was going to wait and see at a couple mil and doing the same at 10 mil and 20 and 30 and 50 and 90 and then a pull back to 70 and then 100 every single step of the way. I'm like, I'm going to wait and see, or I'm too late or whatever. And dude, come on. 140 mil it hit. This thing is going to hit 500 mil. It's going to hit 500 mil. We're not anywhere close to peak euphoria. We're not even close. We're not even like on our way to that point. We barely started with what NFTs are about to do. And this thing's sitting at 134 mil and it's deflationary. And it plays on both the crypto cycle and the NFT cycle. And it can kind of act like a meme coin. And by the way, a lot of these other ones are also hitting all-time highs. The Moonbird one, almost 11 mil. The Pudgy one, almost 11 mil. Ape Strategy inching up to 10. Like, I mean, come on. The Dick Butt one, almost 7. These are some really interesting plays. I think they're kind of obvious plays. And I'm just waiting for the Pain Strategy token. And I think other people are starting to wake up to that one. An X-Copy Strategy token, come on. To me, makes a ton of sense. The Good Vibes one, I think, is going to do great as well. Right? NFTs are going to have their moment. And we're going to be celebrating all the old, Web3 IP. But Good Vibes will still come out of this cycle probably as the biggest or best subjective, right? But biggest or best, 2025, maybe this cycle Web3 IP. I can't think of somebody else who maybe like is bigger or better. And I think they've got a ton of room ahead of them to fly. So I'm watching for the Good Vibes strategy token. I'm watching for the Milady strategy for sure. I think that one's going to be hot. And man, the Pain strategy token. And by the way, all those sales feed back into Punk strategy. Crazy stuff. And the strategy tokens really send those NFT collections to do. We saw Goblin Town, 2 or 3x. We see GVC now over 2x from what it was just like a week or two ago. We got to keep our eyes on these because I think these collections are all going to send from these things, especially as this heats up. It's going to put some really interesting pressure on these NFT collections that then feeds right back into the token. But super interesting right now. And we talked about this a couple days ago. And man, Node Monks. Luna, I don't know why I'd say that. Maybe just hates the meta, but all it is buy pressure on the NFTs. Or, Luna, what we've definitely seen is when people know it's coming out, prices pump and then NFTs pull back a bit. So maybe, I don't know. But it's not, but Luna, it's not an if. It is definitely coming out, right? It's like, it's basically scheduled. So we're waiting on the dates, right? They all got pushed back, but there is a Milady strategy token coming for sure. But yeah, there's a Node Monk strategy token coming. They've already started raising funds for it. And it's pumping the collection. It's doing what they have been doing. Look at Node Monks. Node Monks are getting close to a 2x on the week. Oh, I'm sorry, not even on the week. In the past 24 hours, it's well over 2x on the week. Node Monks are at 0.065. These were under 0.03. And I got to tell you, then I say it all the time, and I believe it. I think easiest opportunity. I don't want to say the best because there's opportunity cost for waiting here, but I think the easiest opportunity out there is still in ordinals. These collections sitting at these, like, they're sitting at their basically at their lows. And at a point where they don't have much further to fall, but tons of upside on these collections. So Node Monks move first, right? And they're getting it because, well, look, most of the cabal's in them. The ETH cabal's in them. Same with puppets, by the way. These are going to catch up, I think, pretty quickly. But the ETH cabal's in it. And then everybody's going to start chasing all these collections. Node Monk dudes are going to flip their Node Monk and rotate to some of this stuff. And then you're going to get the whole FOMO game. So the things I think are some of the easiest plays right now are the ones I talk about, again, all the fucking time. Puppets, OMB, Quantum Cats. I gotta probably say Taproot Wizards. They will get a little pump from this too. And I still think they got some spicy action ahead of them still. But I think ordinals are about to rip. It's great seeing these. Like, there's going to be some psychological thing that happens when these hit 0.1. It is. People are going to get crazy about ordinals again. Love to see it. But here you go. Node strategy. It's not from the Node Monks team, which I kind of dig. Dutch auction. Well, it is a Dutch auction, I think, even for the token sale too. Yeah. Dude, they've already raised, and this is hours ago. This might have even been yesterday, but this thing is going to be sold out. It's going to be sold out before tokens even like live. Raised 54% of the hard cap for the auction, 8 hours to go. And the auction kicks off at this point, I think in like 6 hours or 7 hours. 6-ish hours or 5 hours. So they're going to hit the cap. It's all going to be sold out before it actually goes live, I think. If Node strategy hits the hard cap, it should push the Node Monks to a 0.1 Bitcoin floor. What they're doing is basically taking those fees, just like the other strategy tokens, sweeping the floor, relisting them higher, right? They sell, they go back and buy and burn. That's going to be harder on ordinals, by the way. Right? It should be way harder. There's way less volume over there. So I don't know if this will work out the same as the ETH strategy tokens. I hope it does, but the volume's different. Well, then again, Node Monks have 1.4 million volume. Oh, that's on the week. Hang on. Let's go to the day. Yeah, like a mil. It's not bad. Where does that put him? Right there. Number 5. Actually, I'm not going to count these. So number 4. Yeah, so they're doing numbers. But yeah, ordinals are a pretty interesting bet. Yeah, I think ordinals got that easy upside. Like runes are just still iffy. Although this is a rune, right? The strategy token is a rune. The node strategy. So maybe it brings that back to life a bit too. I hope it does, man. But either way, you're going to place there. Look, everything's going to get pumpy. Everything's going to get euphoric. Everything's going to cycle back in again. It's just so easy and it's so obvious. And so, like, right, the plays that I see is easy and obvious. Everyone's got them because everybody's right. Everything's going to pump. But man, do I hope we see a sense strategy. And I think that one would work really well. Really well. Playing into the art meta, playing into the ordinals meta, playing into the strategy meta. That one would be incredible. I hope we see it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a little buy pressure on that collection with other people who are maybe like hoping or thinking for the same thing. Yeah, Joina, it's out. Yes, sir. What is that? Almost 11 mil market cap on that one. Yep. It's one of the first ones. In the first batch of them, really. After apes, after punks, apes, pudgy penguins. I think the Moonbirds one was right after. But there's gonna be some really interesting plays. Oh, dude, look at Oni Force up here. I wonder why that is. I bought one of these when they did their Virtuals launch. I think I could flip it and be up a little now, and I might. I'm not super into that one, but interesting. Hey, there's so many great plays out there, guys. So many great plays. Here's why, and I'll wrap up the ordinals chat here. Why I'm so freaking bullish on that, though, and I said it before, and why I'm so bullish on the ordinals. The ETH cabal is there, man. They are. And maybe the one collection they're going to be pushing and supporting the most is Node Monks. You have Tyler tweeting about it. You've got D's tweeting about it. All their whale friends then are probably already in it. They're going to push it as well. And then they're going to do the same thing with Bitcoin puppets. Even if they don't have a strategy token, they're going to pump the ordinals. When they see Node Monks going up, then they start tweeting when puppets, right? They're just going to start talking about their other bags because that's what you do. That's what you do. And the biggest names on NFT, crypto, Twitter are in these collections. The whole thing is going to pump. The whole thing is going to get silly. China, they're pretty darn easy, and I'll just give the quick TLDR, right? And hit me up too. But China, it's just when the token trades, there's a 10% tax on the trades. And that 10%, most of it just goes into a treasury to buy NFTs from that collection. Right? So when punks raise, 200, when the punk strategy token, when the fees are up to what, 250 grand, they go buy a punk. They take the punk, they list the punk 1.2x the floor price. when that sells, they use that money to buy back token and burn that token. It's that's simple. That's it. So you raise fees or you raise funds via fees, you buy NFT, pushes the NFT floor price up. When the NFT sells, buy burn token, pushes token price up. In theory, that's how it works. So high volume makes it really, really work. But here's still what breaks it. And I've not heard a good reason why this won't happen. There is a way to break it. It's that. And he's trying to argue that it's not a problem, but it is, right? At first, due to design flaws, Punk strategy had no transfer restrictions, allowing anyone to create unofficial pools that bypass the 10% trading fee. Later strategy tokens fixed this by requiring trades to happen only in official pools. I don't know how you enforce that. I just don't know, right? I don't know how you force that because, and I don't know if this is cost effective. If you can control it at a contract level, great. Then that fixes my biggest problem here. Still, if the token gets big enough and somebody's planning ahead and buying up supply, somebody can still, I would imagine, buy up all the tokens they want and launch their own separate pool that does bypass the fees. And at some point, that becomes more attractive to people than trading the one that you're taking a 10% hit on your trade. So I don't know. I just need to understand this more because there are other pools out there. So I really got to wrap my head around why that won't happen. If it's fixed and you can't do it, great. I don't understand how that works. I'm not that technical. I'm not a dev. I'm not that technical. If you can do that at the contract level, maybe it's like an NFT where you can only make it tradable on a specific marketplace, right? If that's how it works, then cool. But that's my biggest fear, is that people are just going to make all these separate pools that don't have the 10% tax, and all of a sudden you kill the fundraising that the token had, baked in. Yeah, Gravity, I like that one. Again, plays in the art meta. So art meta there. You got the whales, you got the attention. There's just a lot of reasons to like that one. I'd probably rank them Punks. Man, I miss J Squiggle. Punks, I think is first. Dude, they're all great, right? Punks, Moonbirds, Pudgies. I think I like the ape one the least, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if I should have an order. They're all great and they'll all have their own time. But I do like the pain strategy one a lot. I think that one's going to be really good. Like the Squiggle one. Maybe I like the Toad one the least. Maybe that's what it is. And the Dick Butt one. And the Me Bit one. Maybe those three are the ones I just think are like clearly on the bottom. And I do like the Squiggle one. I do. Anyway, that meta, pay attention. It's spicy and it's going to work. And it works as long as there's volume. And even when volume comes down, when people are sensing that the top is in on the token and they're dumping and locking in profits, well, it's just more fees to go back to the treasury to go buy more NFTs and sweep them up. So I describe it like this. It's a cushion. It's almost to me like Blur and like the farming happening there. To me, it didn't kill NFTs. It didn't wreck the prices. It actually just gave some cushion when they fell. It just brings more volume. And to me, that's what this is going to do. Prices will still move the way they're going to move. This will just maybe draw it out. It'll be slower, add some padding to it. Nice, Gravity, dude. I like it. I think it's a good play. I think it's a good play. All right, last couple of headlines here. Last thing on NFTs here. OpenSea bought a CryptoPunk, going in their rewards pool. This is probably that top prize, right? When people start cracking open those crates, those treasure boxes, somebody's going to get this CryptoPunk here and 50 ETH. Not bad, right? Not a bad prize. I dig it. Yeah, pretty sweet. Anyway, there's going to be some really cool. Here's what's going to happen. In the next 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, probably in the next week, we're going to get the C token launch details, TGE details. It's coming soon, I think. And then you're going to have this frenzy of people tweeting out their wins, their big old token airdrops. And then it's going to be treasure chest time, and people are going to be sharing all these massive NFT wins they got too. It's going to be a really, I think we got a few weeks coming, guys, that is full throttle, full-on hype mania euphoria NFTs, and I can't wait for it. And while that's happening, I think traders are going to be pretty damn liquid. That's a great punk. Yeah. Traders are going to be really liquid then too, from the OpenSea drop, from the pump drop, from the Meteora drop, from hopefully at that point right around then is the abstract drop. Maybe the mask drop, maybe the base, not yet. But there's so many big airdrops coming. And if they're kicking us all, a few $1,000s, I don't know if it's going to be a few thousand between all of them, or maybe a couple of them are a few grand all on their own. But we're going to be loaded up, ready to trade and find whatever opportunities out there. And there's going to be a lot. I hope so too, Choina. I hope so too. Everybody's betting on that, Gravity. Everybody's betting that's the end. That's when you want to get out. Sell everything, right? I'm always hoping that consensus is wrong, right? That the space is going to be caught off guard. I'm always hoping there's like a big old thing coming that nobody was thinking of, planning for. Think back to, guys, the AI meta that came out of nowhere. I don't know. My gut tells me we have another of those in us this cycle. I don't know. Doesn't mean anything me saying my gut tells me that, but my gut tells me that we have another thing, another meta that comes out that's big and splashy, and it keeps people in. And what that is, just don't know. But here's hoping. All right, Sandbox has a blockchain that's live now, actually. Is the chain live? Sand chain? Forgot to cover this the other day, but Sand chain. All right. Always said there'd be an infinite number of blockchains. I know Henry and I used to kind of not battle over this, but he didn't think so. He thought it was going to be, the top couple winning chains. And in a way, yes, but infinite number of chains coming, because why not? Why not earn the fees on your chain? And infinite number coming. So yeah. Addicted still going strong. Huge demand for those packs. I think pack prices are 50% off right now. Token sitting at like a 28 mil market cap, still looking great. Ponzi will come to an end at some point, but not now. It's got some legs. Pretty cool. And then finally, and this is cool, and we'll get into more details with it tomorrow. But Polymarket, possibly today, guys. Possibly today is going to be live in the US, meaning you will not have to use a VPN to use Polymarket. Pretty spicy. Are you going to have to KYC or something? I'm not sure, but pretty cool to get on there and not have to do the VPN. I hate it. That does keep me from using these platforms. It takes a really good bet for me to go click connect, right? I should be using one anyways, I know. But anyway, keep an eye out for that today. It's interesting. Polymarket US also with an app coming, which is pretty cool. And we'll dive further in that tomorrow. Katz will be joining the show tomorrow. We'll dive into prediction markets. The Friday show sponsored by Predict Base. So we'll dive into their platform, its growth, guys, like 990,000 in volume in September. Most of their volume came last month. Massive month. Yeah, US Polymarket app is coming. And that might be today. It might go live right when this goes live, if it's today, but it's coming. It's probably going to be more limited, but it should be cool. But yeah, we'll dive into Predict Base tomorrow. We'll probably throw up a market or a poll. Again, we'll look at the site stats. We're going to check out Limitless, who's raised just a pile of money. Kalshi on fire. I saw Tim Pool yesterday. Tim Pool, kind of nighttime politics show sponsored by Kalshi yesterday. There's just, they're just kind of everywhere, and they're everywhere right now. And it feels like they're running circles around Polymarket. In fact, the numbers show they are running circles around Polymarket. So it's really cool. And then I just look at I'll just say it again. I look at the best opportunity as these platform tokens, and there's not many of them out there. There's not a lot of prediction market platform tokens to bet on. And I'll pull it up now because I think it matters. I think Predict Base is one of the most interesting plays out there. I'm going to pull up the Predi token. Limitless. I think this number's correct. Just maybe I'm wrong. I think they've got like $100 million committed to that pre-sale, right? They were trying to raise like one. They got to like 20 or something. But yeah, look at that. Real nice. I want to bet on these platform tokens if you can get in them early. If you can get in these early, then that's how you win, right? You're going to win on the markets. You'll win some, but hope you win a lot. But man, you can make that stupid money that I know a lot of us are chasing on the platform tokens. I have trouble. I have a hard time seeing Predi not getting to, even aiming low, a 10 mil market cap, a 20 mil market cap, a 30 mil market cap, right? As this cycle gets to that end state, and the euphoria heats up and prediction markets, right? We get all these tokens out there and you start getting these things to compare tokens to. If you see Limitless at 100 mil market cap, or honestly 400 or 500 mil market cap, whatever the FDV is, you start looking at Preddy and you're like, come on, man. And they have stuff coming. Live odds, again, fingers crossed. I hope they're coming. I think they're coming. Live odd trading changes a lot here. Maybe more support from base, maybe more support from virtuals. I think there's a lot of life in this one. And as a DJ, as a gambler, I'm betting on stuff like this. Yeah, I'm feeling a kind of way. I'm feeling a kind of way. It's a big old deal. Anyway, keep your eyes on Preddy. We'll dive more into that tomorrow. Can't wait. All right, guys, before you get out, smash the like on the show. Come over to CryptoSlam on YouTube and subscribe over there. And finally, follow SlamAI_XYZ. Get your ass on the website. Check out the white paper. And more news coming here very soon. I can't wait for this. Very soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys, hope your day is phenomenal. Tomorrow's show with Cats, live an hour early. So we'll be live at 8 a.m. Eastern time. With a Spaces live too, so you guys can come join and chat with us as well. We always go long. It's not an hour. It's usually an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Tons to talk about. The weekend virtuals, all the prediction market stuff. Can't wait. I like that call, by the way. I like the call, by the way. There we go. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you.